Good morning students. In this presentation we will discuss the numerical problems, the book back problems in the lesson 2, the physics lesson 2, which is force and motion, right? Now before getting into the problems we will recall the concepts and the formulas so that we can solve the problems easily. The first concept what we learnt and we already know in class 6 is the speed. So we know that speed is nothing but the rate at which the distance is covered. So speed is given by the formula, speed is distance by time. So if you have a formula like this, just make a triangle and write these terms here, speed here, distance on the top of the triangle, and then time down here. Am I right? Are you clear? Now you just introduce the symbols, division on the top and then multiplication down here. That's all. All the work is done now. So if you have to find out any one quantity, suppose if you are asked to find the distance, okay, now let me write here, distance is equal to speed into time. Since you have the multiplication sign down here, speed into time. If you are asked to find the time, you have to divide the distance by speed. So time is equal to distance by speed, right? And speed, of course, we know it is distance by time. So this is an important concept that you should know. If it is velocity, instead of distance, it will be displacement, and instead of s, you just write v, that's it, right? Now the next formula that you have to understand is acceleration. A is equal to v minus u divided by t. Right? Now you just draw the triangle and write A here, v minus u, which is nothing but delta v, can also be written as delta v, and then time here, and introduce the division sign on the top and then multiplication sign down here. So if they ask you what is the change in velocity, that is delta v, you have to multiply the acceleration and time. If they ask you what is the time taken, you have to find the change in velocity and divide the quantity by a. So now let us do that. Now we will take this as delta v, right? So this is delta v. V minus u is nothing but delta v. That is change in velocity is nothing but delta. Delta is change. Delta v is equal to, suppose if you have to find out what is the change in velocity, but you will be told about the quantities. They will give you the quantities of acceleration and time. So it is a into t. If they ask you to find out what is the time taken, then t is equal to, they will give you the delta v. So find out divide delta v by acceleration. That's all. You will be able to get the time taken for the acceleration to change, right? Now let us move on to the problem. So Geeta takes 15 minutes from her house to reach her school on a bicycle. If the bicycle has a speed of 2 meters per second, calculate the distance between her house and the school. So what is given? She has taken 15 minutes time. So time is given and the speed of the cycle is also given. They are asking you to find out the distance covered, right? So distance is the question mark. So time is in 15 minutes and speed is given in 2 meters per second. So what is the thing that you have to understand is speed is given in seconds, meter per second, whereas time is given in 15 minutes. So you have to first convert that into seconds. So we know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. So just multiply to find out the number of seconds in 15 minutes. Just multiply 15 into 60. Since 1 minute is 16 seconds, 15 minutes will have 50 into 60 seconds, which gives you the answer 900. 15 into 60 is 900 seconds. Then speed is 2 meters per second as given in the problem. So distance is calculated by using the previous concept s into t. So 2 meters per second, just substitute the value. Speed is 2 meters per second. Time is given here 900 seconds. So 2 meters per second into 900 seconds. So just cut this second and second. So remaining we have 2 into 900 is 1800 meter is a unit which is left out. So distance in meter, so no doubt 1800 meter is the answer, right? Now we will move on to the next problem. A car started from rest traveling with a velocity of 20 meter per second in 10 seconds. What is its acceleration? So it is starting from rest, which means the initial velocity is 0. And then it has reached the velocity of 20 meter per second. So final velocity is 20 meter per second and the time is also specified as 10 seconds. Just plug in the values to find out the acceleration. So we know the formula A is equal to V minus U by T. V minus U is 20 minus 0 divided by 10 seconds. So 20 minus 0 is 20. Meter per second is its unit divided by 10 seconds. So meter per second by second will give you meter per second square, and 20 by 10 is 2. How will you reduce the fraction? 10 ones are 10, 10 twos are 20. So 2 by 1 is 2 meter per second. Again by a second should be written as meter per second into second. So this will give you the unit as meter per second square. Am I right? So this is how you derive the unit for the acceleration. Now we will move on to the third problem. A bus can accelerate with an acceleration 1 meter per second square. So sometimes instead of giving you second square, they can also write it as second with an inverted V, which is understood that it is a power, right? Power 2. Find the minimum time for the bus to reach 100 km per second from 50 km per second. That is, they have given you the initial velocity as 15 km. So bus, find the time that it is to take from, to reach 100 km from 50 km per second. So initially it was moving with 50 km and then it has to reach 100 km, which is its final velocity, and the acceleration is given. They are asking you to find out the time, right? So acceleration is already found and it is given, and you have to compare the units. Acceleration is given in meter, whereas initial and final velocity are given in kilometers. So first job is to convert that into meter. We know the 1000 meter is 1 kilometer. So 50 kilometer has 50,000 meters. So 50 into 1000 will give you 50,000. Similarly, 100 kilometer per second should be converted into meter. So 100 into 1000 will give you 1 lakh meters. So first is the conversion, and we have to find out the time taken for this acceleration to change. So we know that A is equal to V minus U by T. Therefore, T is just interchange. T will go to the numerator and A will come to the denominator. So T is equal to V minus U by A. So 10,000 minus 50,000 divided by 1 will give you 10,000 minus 50,000 is 50,000. Divided by 1, it is not matter. So divided by 1 is just 50,000 only. So meter per second into second square meter. So how you know already in fractions, when you have it in a denominator, you have to take it to the numerator as a reciprocal. So meter per second square will go to the numerator as second square by meter. So just cancel these 2 meters. So remaining s square by s will give you s. How is that? S square is nothing but s into s divided by another s. So this 2 will get cancelled. So remaining s is the unit of time. So straight away you can just write the unit, but you should understand how did you get that from the units given. So how to derive the units. So this is how you have to calculate. Hope you followed. Thank you.